This is Sangsel by Cloud. This is Censorus 2. I'll give you an update on day 34 of the Middle East conflict. On April 2nd, the Israeli military attacked the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Joint Chiefs of Staff headquarters in Tehran. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Joint Chiefs of Staff oversees coordination between military branches, manages supplies, and reviews the budget. It is expected that attacking this facility will have a significant impact on the progress of operations. Satellite images uploaded March 29 confirmed the IRGC Navy Besat base in Shiraz, Fars province, was attacked. Besat base has anti-ship missiles and served as a logistics support base for the IRGC in southern Iran, including Bandar Abbas, Bandar Lenge, and Bushehr. It appears that the destruction of this base was intended to weaken Iran's maritime transport capabilities. In addition, according to reports from Iran International, it has been confirmed that Mashhad Airport and the IRGC Quds barracks near Mashhad Airport were attacked. This is the first attack on Mashhad since March 25. And the Israeli military also attacked the ballistic missile storage facility in Tabriz. On April 2, the United States attacked the Bivan Bridge, which connects Tehran and Karaj. This bridge was also the highest bridge in Iran. By attacking this bridge, Iran's ability to transport missiles to the western region was cut off. At the same time, President Trump also warned them to negotiate before it was too late. According to Axios, Iran mainly used this bridge to transport missiles and missile parts from Tehran to the western region. US and Israeli forces are working to reduce Iran's missile launch capacity in the west. Missiles from Iran's central region usually lack the range to reach Israel. For instance, the commonly used Fatah missile has a range of just 1,400 kilometers, so launching from Isfahan can't reach Israel. This is why launches were previously from the west, but now that route appears fully blocked. It seems that attacks on infrastructure like this will continue. On April 1st, US and Israeli forces jointly attacked Keshem Island. They targeted a warehouse at the eastern port of Keshem Island. On April 2nd, satellite images also confirmed a huge column of smoke rising from the port. What was inside the warehouse is still being analyzed. Because Iran stored naval assets such as unmanned vessels on Keshem Island, some speculate the attack may be connected to them. The Israeli military has continued its decapitation operations targeting high-ranking officials. Ali Montazeri, an executive at Iran's state broadcaster IRAB and a member of the intelligence service, was killed in an Israeli airstrike. Tamal Karaji, a former foreign minister, is currently the chairman of the Foreign Relations Strategy Committee. He is known as a key figure leading negotiations. He was seriously injured in an airstrike in Karaj. Mokhara Majimi, Central Ballistic Missile Commander in Kermanshah province, and Mohammed Ali Fatali Jadeh, Fateh Inded commander, were both killed in Israeli airstrikes. Fateh Inded is a special operations unit involved in protest suppression. The Iranian military is estimated to have launched at least 20 missiles at Israel. In particular, on April 2nd, a ballistic missile fell in Petah Tikva, central Israel. At least 2 of the missiles launched by Iran contained cluster munitions. 20 missiles may seem like a small number, but it shows that Iran's attacks have slightly increased. Originally, they were launching an average of only 10 to 15 missiles per day. In addition, Iran has continued drone and missile attacks targeting Gulf countries. The United Arab Emirates Ministry of Defense reported intercepting 26 drones and 9 ballistic missiles on April 2nd. The Kuwaiti military said they intercepted 13 drones and 2 cruise missiles the same day. The Bahrain Ministry of Defense reported that on April 2nd, they intercepted 10 drones and 2 missiles. The Qatar Ministry of Defense also stated that on April 2nd, they intercepted several Iranian drones. The Saudi Arabian Ministry of Defense reported that on April 2nd, they intercepted 4 drones. Hezbollah forces also carried out a total of 28 attacks targeting southern Lebanon and Israeli forces. Hezbollah forces are consistently attacking Israeli troops in southern Lebanon villages and reportedly targeted a Merkava tank with an IED. Hezbollah forces are increasingly using FPV drones to attack Israeli troops, reportedly causing significant Israeli casualties. And there have been a total of 32 attacks targeting Israeli cities. Hezbollah launched a rocket attack on the Safed area, where the 146th Reserve Division headquarters is located. It appears that Hezbollah is intensifying its attacks on Israel during Passover in order to have a psychological impact on Israeli civilians. Israeli Defense Minister Yisrael Katz said on April 2 that Hezbollah Secretary General Naim Qasemi will pay a very heavy price for intensifying attacks on Israeli civilians during Passover. In fact, attacks have taken place, resulting in civilian injuries in various locations. In response, Israel has launched attacks throughout Lebanon. The Israeli military reported killing 40 Hezbollah fighters and conducting precision strikes on Hezbollah weapon storage in southern Lebanon in the past 24 hours. Since starting operations in Lebanon on March 2, they have reportedly killed around 1,000 Hezbollah fighters, including hundreds from the Radwan unit. The Houthi rebels launched ballistic missiles at southern Israel, marking their 5th attack since joining the conflict on March 28. However, they appear to be staying within certain limits. It seems like an attempt to avoid attacks from Israel and the United States. Reports say they're preparing to target international ships in the Red Sea again, but haven't acted yet. Iran-backed militias have conducted around 41 drone attacks on U.S. military bases. The U.S. State Department has warned that pro-Iranian militias in Iraq may carry out attacks targeting U.S. citizens and interests in central Baghdad within the next 24 to 48 hours. The Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs announced that Iran has agreed to allow the safe passage of vessels related to the Philippines through the Hormuz Strait. There was a phone call between the foreign ministers of the Philippines and Iran, during which Iran agreed to allow Philippine-flagged vessels, energy resources, and safe passage for Philippine ships through the Hormuz Strait. That concludes the Day 34 update on the Middle East war. Thank you.